Marlo was relieved when the fog lifted. She made it through Effingham and Kansas, and then the GPS said, "Welcome to Missouri." Wait, she had something to say about that name. Let's hear.
So y'all, the GPS said, "Welcome to Missouri." Is it me, or does Missouri sound a whole lot like misery? Who want to live there? Okay, stop. But is it just me, or does that sound like misery?
Regardless of the name of the state, she stopped anyway. And then this happened.
So we stopped in Missouri, aka whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, fuel up, get some relief, eat. Hold on, I got a full tank of gas. Why is the car acting like it wants to stop? Like, kind of. What's in that gas?
What was in that gas? That was in Missouri, whatever you want to call it. But she kept going. And the weather changed. Yes, now she's encountering the rain. Even though the rain helps you rest, Marlo says, wake up, and listen to this song with me.
So it's starting to rain. Drizzle mostly, just drizzle. Is there such thing as a heavy drizzle? Okay, so listen to the song with me. I like this song. It's called Wake Up. And I used to listen to it almost every morning. But not almost every morning, but let's get a little ride in with me. Wake up, wake up. The best thing this moment. Wake up, wake up. Thank God 'cause you yawning. Still got breath, still got sight, still got dreams,
Still got fight.
got one more shot, so take that step. 'Cause quitting ain't part of the plan, not yet.
Thank you for the song. She will let more play, but she has to be careful that the video can upload safely. During that time, while she was focusing on her driving, she made it to New Mexico. But before then, she had some spiritual encounters. It was like she was in two places at once. She wondered if it had something to do with that second portal-like thing she rode through. She stayed in there a while, but she still wondered. All she saw inside was swirling lights. Everything looked swirly with different colors inside. Around the top, around the bottom, as though that the swirly lights was a tunnel. But they were okay. There was no wind. It was just like she was in a tunnel that just happened to be on an open road. And she went into thought. Yes, Even though she was driving, she was focused, but she was still in thought, like someone was trying to do something with her, but she wasn't there. And she envisioned herself as a light being in the air while they were doing whatever they were doing. Yes, she was still driving and focused on the road. It still was like she was in two places at once now. She covered herself in the light body, and she can hear voices of people saying, "Who's helping her?" Then there was a heat that went straight up her back. Oh, she knew that warmth that happens so frequently. But then she noticed another warmth that was coming up her front, and it rose to her belly, a nice warmth as she drove. And then something else happened that shocked her as she drove, but she kept going, and it felt wonderful. The heat from the belly turned into a circle around her chest, and she knew it was light beaming from her chest in the circle. And there was this amazing energy coming from her chest, from the exact circle. And it was broad and amazing. That was so new. She had never felt that before. She thought, not everybody can hear this. So she only made a video recording one part of it. Let's hear. And
Hey y'all. So in New Mexico, right? 3 things. It may have been more spiritual things, but 3 spiritual things have happened to me since I've been out here. I'm only going to tell you about one. So I was at the gas station, right? And I didn't know what pump I had left the car. So I looked out the thing, and all I could see by the car was a number 8. Nothing else. Nice, neat number 8. And I was thinking 8, you know? So I said, give me $8 on 8, you know? And he said, okay. And so I get out there to pump the gas, and nothing's coming out. Man, I walked over there. As some say, turn around, look at the pump first. So I looked at the pump. There was no 8 there. How about not 1? That was the only number over there when I looked. And it was big. But when I looked at that time, when the gas wasn't coming out, there was a small number 1 and a small number 2. How the 8 was nowhere to be found, right? So I went over there. I was like, well, let's see if I gave some free gas away. Went over there to the pump 8, and it pumped the gas. It started pumping the gas. I'm like, okay, so now, yeah, we can get our gas. Woohoo! How much pumped into my tank before it stopped? Somebody say it. 8. Holla!
yes, Marlo can be very expressive, and she was on point. Soon after, as she got closer and closer to her destination, she was thinking of how beautiful it was where she was, the atmosphere, the mountains, and what she would do when she got to her destination at the Grand Canyon. Take off her shoes, relax her feet, absorb the most energy she can absorb while she was there. And then there was a loud pop right by her. She turned, she looked, she tried to be careful, she was still driving. And the bag of chips that was sitting on the seat next to her was bust open. Literally, who does that? And then later she remembered. She was told about this in a waking state. But she thought it was funny. She thought it was a joke. Who busts a bag of chips? Spirit. And tells you what kind of spirit it is, by the way, the bag is open. Stop. Not everyone can hear that. But that's why it's in a book. She realized she needed to stay focused and get off of where she was going and stay in the present moment where she was. Enjoying the sun, enjoying the scenery, enjoying the moves